Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Oh, I'm just so tired today, people. Okay, let's get this going. So excited, like always, to be having a conversation with my friend. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Everything looks a bit dark, but I'm here. You're here.
I look dark
Maybe it's just my camera. Everything's gone very dark. But yeah, I'm here. And
I
I
can
haven't got a wobbly
see
camera today.
again,
No wobbly camera, proper camera, everything's good.
but we're dark today.
Yeah,
Okay, Hamish, one thing at a time.
absolutely.
Yeah. How have you been?
Well, England's having a heat wave, so it's nearly as hot as Pakistan. Can you
Oh,
believe that?
yay! You were in it
Yeah,
together. Yes.
yeah. We got to 98 today. We got to 96 yesterday, so it is warm. Yeah.
Come here. It's 105. Come down this side.
No, thank you. No, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy just sitting at 99. Yeah.
All right, Hamish. You we've chosen your topic today is gratitude and manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
which one do you want to start with?
Do you know, I think we'd probably start with gratitude because from there, anything is possible, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can I be grateful when my life is falling apart?
That's such a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, Look at what you've got, I think. If you've got a bed, if you've got somewhere you can sleep, can you get 6 hours sleep or 7 hours sleep? Have you got a roof over your head, for example?
Mm.
It's sometimes it's things like that. Have I got a shirt on? And it sounds really trite. It sounds really, really just like, well, of course I have. Not
Mm.
everyone does have,
Yeah.
and it's little things like that. And on those bad days when it's really dark, and it is well, I've got my duvet, I've got a blanket, I can clean my teeth. I've got food. I've got money to buy food, and those little things, rather than oh god, it's hard work, it's miserable, it's dark, it's gloomy, you just start to see a little bit of magic. You just remember that, I can do it.
Yeah.
Um, and from there, there's something else. There's always something else. You've got shoes, you've got clothes. I've got this. I've got food. I can make myself a cup of coffee. I've got a laptop. I've got a phone. I've got a job. I've got
Yeah.
friends. I've got family.
Yeah.
Um, and it's actually no bad thing going right back to basics, right back to the most simple things, because you start to look at your life and you go, well, I'm actually okay. Okay, I don't have enough money, I don't have this, I don't have that, but I'm still alive, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. um
Mm.
and I had a gratitude practice for a while where it would be, what am I grateful for? So three things I'm grateful for,
Mm.
three reasons. So it wouldn't just be, my health, food. I think of that, and then three people. So three people in my life I'm grateful for. So that would be my brother, my sister, and my dog, or something like that. And so I would search for nine things I was grateful for every morning or every evening, depending on when I was doing it,
Yeah.
and that gave me what did it gave me a little bit of hope, on those dark times. And I wouldn't do the same things the following day, and it started to make a difference. I started to see, behind me, I've got flowers, I've got trees growing. I can hear the
Yeah.
neighbors and the kids screaming and playing and delightful. And you start to look out for new things. You start to look out for the things that make your life better, make it more peaceful and more enjoyable. Um, and it takes you out of that funk. It takes you out of that space just of everything is too hard. Everything is too much. I haven't got anything. I'm not good enough because you're actively looking for or reminding yourself of what you got, and it's really powerful. It's gentle and it's powerful.
Yeah. Hamish, two things are coming up for me, right?
Mm.
What you're explaining to me is it's a mindset and it's a lifestyle, right? And
Mm.
what you're saying would work for somebody who is pessimistic, who's negative, and who cannot look at bright side of life of what they already have, and they always
Mm.
focus on the lack. So, but what's coming up for me in this moment is when you were explaining all that, and it's so true and it's so beautiful. I'm really just going back to moments where I'm a very optimistic person, like extremely toxically optimistic, right?
That's the word, isn't it? Yeah, toxically
Yeah,
optimistic. Yeah.
toxically. But then there have been moments where things happened. There was
Mm.
something was happening, a lack was happening. One part of my life was draining every part of my life, right?
Hmm.
And I'm just thinking that in that moment, if Hamish said, "Look at the things you need to be grateful for," I would strangle Hamish at that moment,
Mm.
right? So I
Yep.
think sometimes I absolutely agree, and that's what my faith also teaches me is
Mm.
to focus on what you already have,
Mm.
and God increases you in that, right?
Yeah.
Where energy go, I don't know, I've forgotten that. Can't think of it. But I'm also thinking that if you're feeling down because of something not working out in your life,
Mm.
and for a day you don't want to be grateful and you want to be whiny and you want to complain, I think allowing yourself to feel that is also, it's a way
Okay.
of giving back to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So i
Um,
think I think that's where the balance comes, like have the mindset of what you're saying, always focus on the good, wake up with seeing what already you have, go to bed with counting what you achieve rather than, oh, this is left, right?
mm.
Like that kind of thing. And when you wake up in the morning, instead of whining, oh, this all has to be done, when you wake up, what are you grateful for? And that kind of sets the pace of your attitude on how you show up for that day. But then allowing yourself, then when you have a setback or when something happens that really you can't force gratitude, right? So
Yeah.
in that moment you allow yourself, like, I don't want to be grateful right now, Hamish. I just want to like really be whiny and complain about why this thing didn't work out for me.
Mm.
And I don't want you to talk gratefulness into me. Just sit with me in this moment and
Yeah.
be whiny like me. Bring a glass of wine and be whiny with me. Although I don't drink wine. But
Mm.
I just saying
Absolutely.
that. Yeah,
Mm.
so that kind of thing. Would would
Mm.
would you agree with what's coming up or what I'm saying?
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's if you're going to be just happy and cheerful and everything, you're deluding yourself because life isn't.
Yeah.
It's you know. I think there's three consistencies in life: death, taxes, and change. The sun comes up, the sun goes down.
Yeah.
People get born, people die.
Yeah.
You have to pay tax. You know,
I love that you have to pay tax.
you have to. Yeah, yeah. There's
Oh
there's
my
not many
God.
people who don't. But it's
Yeah.
but going back to what you said, yeah, life's tough. There's a tough day. There's a tough moment, whatever, tough week.
Yeah.
Yeah, own it because if you're going to just pretend everything is all right, you're just deluding yourself, and that's toxic as well. So embed yourself in those memories, remember it, and that there might be a lesson, there might not be. It might just be I'm having a crap day. The dog died. This happened. That happened. It's
Yeah.
just
I
crap
think
with it.
I think it's
Mm.
just about you said something like a big loss, like losing a dog or losing someone, right?
Hmm.
In those moments, it's okay to sit with the grief, but as long as grief doesn't become you, you know,
Yeah.
like that will become your life. So I
Mm.
think it's okay to sometimes when life is not working out or things are not working, it's okay to sit and whine and complain and be negative or whatever
Mm.
is coming up. But as
Mm.
long as you promise yourself that you're not going to stay in this state long,
Yeah. Yeah.
you will make sure that you get out of it. And this is just part of the process. You need to process this for yourself and you have to move on. I think what happens is either people just suppress and are just grateful, grateful, grateful. Or if somebody's lost, or be grateful for their life or something. I guess that doesn't serve you guys as well, or any
Mm,
of us. And then there's the other side where you have a loss, and that kind of defines your whole life now.
yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's just finding the balance then. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Totally, and it's contrast. You know, there are
Yeah.
good moments, there are bad moments, there's happy moments. So there is contrast. And a
Yeah.
friend once said to me, you know, if everything was all sunshine, it would be a desert. You know,
Yeah.
if it was
Yeah.
just sunshine, everything would die. You know, yeah,
Wow,
life,
that's
life.
such a deep thought. That's such a deep thing. If everything was sunshine, everything would die, right? It's just like, I mean, I hate to admit it, but what I've learned in life is that we grow, we learn through our pains and our hardships, and when life puts us down, that's where learning
Yeah.
and growth happens.
Oh,
It's not when
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
going is going and
No.
everything's in place.
Yeah.
No growth happens there.
Yeah.
You're just there in
Party.
that state, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's in those tough times you've got two choices. Am I going to pick myself up, or am I going to just sit in that misery? Yeah, and then
Yeah.
when everything's money, when the money's coming in, you've got the house, you've got this, you've got that, you've got the food, you've got everything. You know, life's a party, and then
Yeah.
something will change. But yeah, there's less growth when everything is fine, and lovely, and hunky dory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Humans, for some reason, like to work from pain. We work best from
That's
pain
how
and
we're, I think
suffering.
that's just how we're made, that we learn through that.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, just to be sure, God, we're not asking for more lessons. Like, yeah,
No,
we
thank
done.
you. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
We've
we
had
done.
enough. We've
We
had
done.
enough for this decade. Yeah,
Yes, we have enough. Now it's time for us to like really party and enjoy.
exactly.
Anyway,
Mm.
now that we've gotten to that part, let's talk about
Mm.
manifestations. Let's get to that part of life.
Yeah.
What is manifestation, Hamish? Let's explain that first to people.
Well, it depends where you come from. If you, I'm going to be contentious. If you look at Abraham Hicks, it's just like, I want a big house. It's in the vortex, and it's going to come, and I just wait, and I carry on waiting, and I
Yeah,
carry on waiting. But it's in the vortex. You know, it's in my field, and it's this,
yeah.
and I got lost with it's in the vortex. Manifesting to me is all about I want something and I'm going to make it, create it, build it. I mean, I think the best example when you were growing up, what did you have some goals that you achieved? You know, there's things like I want this, I want that. You worked for it, you strived for it. Are there certain things that you really set your heart and mind to get to achieve, and you achieved them?
My only goal was to get married for as long as I
Mm.
can remember. Did achieve
Hmm.
that, but
Yeah.
didn't have the happily ever after.
Mm.
But when I sat with myself and really thought about my life, but besides that big one thing that I wanted
Hmm.
marriage and I wanted to
Yeah.
have my happily ever after, um, there have been incidents where I said certain things
Mm.
and that happened. Like I said to my father, I remember, will do masters, and he
Hmm.
laughed. Like he laughed because I always wanted to get married. Like I was ready to get married at 16 or 15, I think, right?
Hmm.
So he laughed at me like, you would get married tomorrow if you want, if we find
Hmm.
somebody for you. And you're saying that you'll do masters. I did end up doing masters,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm. Yeah.
um I told him that I will travel. I did
Hmm.
travel a lot before my marriage. I
Yeah.
said I'd travel alone. I did travel alone. And he's
Mm.
the one buying me the tickets. I used to, my sister was in US. So every summer I would fly to her
Yeah.
and stay there for the whole summer.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. When I look back and I remember bits of it,
Mm.
I said it believing it, but not knowing how it's going to happen. I
Yeah.
had no idea how it's a
Mm.
master. Like if I sat with that truth at that
Hmm.
age, right? When I said it like 15 or 16 or 17, I would
Mm.
laugh like, Mavish, really, you don't even
Mm.
want that. You just want to get married, right? So, but
Mm.
I never sat with it. I said it in the
Mm.
flow. And when I
Hmm.
said it in the flow, I knew it was going to happen. And then I
Yeah.
never thought about it. I was certain
Mm.
it's going to happen whenever. And it
Yeah.
did happen, right?
Hmm.
And
Mm.
even with the travel, and even till this age, I really got into manifestations in 2020,
Mm.
like write it down and oh, boom, 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 all of
Mm.
that.
Hmm.
Name the things that I've not done.
Yeah.
to do manifest, right? And then it was like ask the universe, and then I kept on asking the universe, and then ask divine, and then ask Allah. So I kind of like rotated from all of that.
Mm.
And I what I learned was that when I didn't get attached to the outcome of when I was going to receive it,
Hmm.
I manifested it. But
Yeah.
the minute I got attached and fear started to come in, and I started to question my manifestation, it's not happening, it's not working,
Mm.
I need to change it, I need to edit it, I started feeling stuck,
Mm.
and it just started getting delayed. Oh my God, when I say that out loud, that's so amazing.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, that's how it's worked. And
Mm.
over time, now where I am,
Mm.
I'm in a different frame of mind. Then I was different, and now it's different. Now it's more from a religious perspective, connecting with God and
Mm.
manifestation. So it's like I tell this to God, this is what I want, I'm leaving it to you, and that's
Hmm.
it. And
Yeah.
then I try not to think about it. I know that it's taken care of. It will come when I'm ready. I have to believe that it's going to
Mm.
come, but when God knows I'm ready. So
Mm.
that's where I'm learning to surrender,
Hmm.
then wanting it desperately, like I want it now, now, now. No, I'm learning that I'm asking for something that I'm worthy of, and I'm going to surrender, knowing that it will come when I'm
Mm.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I like that. I think a little bit more of that. You wanted a master's. You had to
Yeah.
study for that. Okay, the opportunity appeared, but then you had to study.
Yeah.
When I look back, I have this exercise I do with people, and it's just look back through your life. Look back at your teens. What did you want? Most people, certainly in the UK and America and places like that, they wanted to be the best in their school. They wanted to join the football team. They wanted to do this. They wanted to play, well, swimming. They wanted to get to university. They wanted to study. They wanted that job.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent 6 months going down to London and back. I wanted to work in the TV industry. I wanted to do that. So I manifested that. I went down to London and back 10, 15 times over 6 months, hitched down, drove down, took the train, took the bus. I must have had 200 conversations with different people, different companies, and I got that job.
Mm.
I really wanted it. I wake up every morning, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that job. Um, when I flew off to South Africa, I decided, I need a job. I'm flying to South Africa. I need a new job. I'm moving house. I'm moving countries, continents.
Yeah.
I decided I'm going to get a job as a photographer in South Africa. No idea how hard that should have been.
Mm.
I sat next to somebody in the aeroplane and got talking. By the time I landed in Cape Town, I'd got a job.
No
Um,
way.
yeah.
I
And
want that kind of luck. Please give it. Give me. Give
But
me.
I made it. I
Yeah.
think the biggest part for me, the biggest part of manifesting is you have to make it. Once you've got that idea, once you've
Yeah.
spoken it to God, once you've written it down, once you've given it to the universe,
Yeah.
you can't just sit on your thumbs and just wait for things to happen because God's going, hey, come on, you've got the idea, you've got to study, you've got to put energy into it. It's not saying I want it tomorrow, as you said, that's not going to work, but
Yeah.
you have to create it. It's not just wait. It's create in your mind. It's create in your body. It's do the work. You studied. You wrote. You studied. You read books. You bought flights. You flew to America. You didn't just suddenly turn up in America traveling.
Yeah.
So you had to do the work. And I think a lot of people don't appreciate that it's more than just I want a car. I want a boyfriend. I want a house, and then do nothing about it. You have to do the
I think
work.
the sentence was sorry. It's so lame, but it just came to my mind. Where thought goes is where energy flows. Right. That was
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you talked. I bought this book, right? Um, and in that book, it had this manifestation. Uh, um way of doing manifestation. So you had to write it 3 times, then 6 times, then 9 times, right?
Hmm.
And I did that, although I didn't manifest that, but I did that. I did that.
Hmm.
Um, what I'm getting from the little that I let you speak on was that 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 is that if you want something, you cannot just sit. Like, if for example, if I want to build my therapy business, or if I want to make money,
Mm.
or I want people to know I'm a therapist, I can just sit here at home and start
Hmm.
manifesting that I have so many clients, right? I have to
Mm.
put myself out there, put a
Yeah.
board, be on social media. I
Mm.
think I have to do my bit
Yes. Yeah.
and then trust the
Yes.
process that will come
Yeah.
to me rather than getting frustrated. I think for me, if I'm manifesting, I think where frustration comes is that I believe it, I will do my part, but when it's
Hmm.
not coming in, I start to feel the lack, like something is missing. I need to do more. There's something else that needs to be done. I think
Mm.
that's where we need to be like, we've done this, now let's trust the universe, God, divine,
Mm.
whatever,
Yeah.
to do their part. I think
Mm.
that's where I struggle, I think.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Would you say
Mm.
that in manifestations, that's where people struggle? Or people struggle at just thinking that they just think about it and they'll get it?
Yeah. I think that that seems to be the social media. It certainly seemed to be the social media thing. You just, I said, I want a house. Okay. How do you get a house? You have to buy it. But that very act of saying to God, saying to whoever, however, this is what I'm going to do. And as I said, I wanted that job in London, well, around the world in the end. It wasn't just in London, the travel, the TV job. I wanted that. How am I going to get that? Because I thought about it, I'm here without the job. This is what the job I want. So there's this gap between there. There's all that potential, the opportunities. And that's when you start to go, I really want that house. Really, really want a house. Well, what's it look like? It's got 4 bedrooms. I want a 4 bedroom house. And you
Mm-hmm.
start to build it in your mind. You start to think about it. You start to create it. It's just like, well, a 4 bedroom house in London is going to cost me £700,000. Um, I've got to do this. I've got to do
Amish, I was
that.
thinking of the same number. Oh my God. That's creepy.
That is creepy, isn't it? So but you start to build a picture for it and design it and define it and say, right, well, I want to live there. I want to do that. And then, you start to talk to people, but that act of building it in your mind, the act of talking about it, it encourages you to do the work. It encourages you to be positive, to be hopeful, to think about it, to physically move towards there. I need a mortgage. I need to earn this. I need to do that. So you start to build it because you're thinking about it, because you're imagining it, because you're praying about it, not just, I want a house.
Mm. Don't you
Yeah.
think, don't you think that you gotta have luck on your side as well while you're manifesting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you make your own luck. Again, you make your luck. It's Some people are luckier than others. That's just they have a lucky gene or something. I don't know what it is. But you make your own luck. If you put just you do if you make an effort, if you put yourself out, if you talk to people. I chose to sit on that aeroplane and not have 4 drinks and fall asleep and watch a movie. I chose to talk to whoever I sat next to. He happened to be a big, ugly, arrogant, unpleasant Englishman who had stupid amounts of money and a really big house. So I said, "Well, I can take your pictures," and he went, "Cool." But I
Yeah.
made that effort. I made my luck.
I
So
think you were not even aware that you were making the effort. It just
no,
happened that you chose not to drink, and that opportunity
mm,
just fell on your lap and you were
yeah,
able to.
yeah,
I think that's where luck comes in, because
yeah,
not
mm,
every hardworking person gets the reward, and if
no,
that were true, we in our country, um the people who do the labor, right? The people who build homes.
mm,
Nobody in our country, we say that nobody's as hardworking as them. They
mm,
work day and night and they get the building going, right?
yeah,
But they are the least paid people,
mm,
and they never get rich.
yeah,
Never. They're poor and they always stay poor,
mm,
unfortunately, in our part of the world. So I've always heard my dad say, and we've had these conversations around that context, that not every hardworking person
no,
gets rich. So then, and it's been kind of in a way also has been kind of demotivating in like that. Then what's meant to be will be, then I don't need to worry about it. Then
Mm-hmm.
what's meant to be mine will come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's where I guess I have been confused with manifestation, because then I'm like, i- if I'm lucky, I will get it. If I'm not lucky, no matter how
Mm-hmm.
much I do, I'm not gonna get it. So
Mm-hmm.
I might as well not do. And there have been things, Hamish, I've
Mm-hmm.
not been bothered about. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't play any role in it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
told God, and then I went on with my life,
Mm-hmm.
and they just fell on my lap, luck, like you say. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to work towards it. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, like, you want that job, you have to walk and go to the interview, and or
Mm-hmm.
give your CVs to places, and then trust the process. uh,
Yeah.
I'm saying that the manifestation, some of my manifestations have been, God, this is what I want, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how, whatever, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
I've not been bothered, not thought about it here and there, thought about it and said, okay, God will take care of. And they fell effortlessly in my
Mm-hmm.
lap, like effortlessly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where I've gotten attached too much,
Yeah.
I want this, I need this is the reason,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I've been struggling, still do, and stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what am I manifesting?
The wrong thing. Maybe it's the
Yeah,
wrong thing. Maybe it's the wrong thing. I mean, the universe seems to have a better idea of what we actually need than we think we want. So
absolutely.
two very
Yeah,
different things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, yeah, manifest it, think about it, and it appears. That's great. I don't think that happens as often as people would like.
yeah. Obviously, I
Mm.
mean, I've lost more than I gained, but I did get what I wanted,
Mm.
and it fell on my lap. I've seen so many people. I used to follow so many people. That everybody has different techniques and different ways of manifesting.
Mm.
Uh, it's through music, put on these. Different music, binary by
Mm.
beats,
Binaural
and
beats. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, yeah, put on these at night before you sleep, and
Mm.
then I'm just completely blank. So there are different techniques that I've been through, right? And I've gone
Mm.
through all of them.
Yeah.
And the only thing that, when I look,
Mm-hmm.
like even from doing the masters, right, to my recent manifestation, has been, I said it, right,
Mm-hmm.
and people called me out, you're so silly and stupid, and be
Mm-hmm.
real, right? And I said, whatever, it's gonna happen. Like, I was
Mm-hmm.
certain it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There was
Mm.
certainty attached to it somehow,
Yeah.
and it happened.
Mm.
I wasn't attached to the how,
Yeah.
but it
Mm.
happened.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you that? So you're more
Well,
clear again.
I think what it works, doesn't it? It was off. Maybe it's more aligned to what was important for you, what was good for you, what you really wanted, what was. I mean, without sounding too weird, what that was part of your purpose. Some people will. I have tried so hard to create certain businesses, and I've hit wall after wall after wall. Um, And in hindsight, I realized I learned all I needed to from doing half of it or a third of it or opening that door and going, God, bloody hell, no, that's too hard. And things like that.
Yeah,
Um, so, and not everything's the right thing. So, some people will go absolutely, this is absolutely what I'm after. And it's just like, no, that's really not for you.
mm.
But the manifesting thing, I think there's a guy called Robert Fritz, and he says it's about creating attention. I mentioned that. So this is where I am, and this is where I want to be. That's what want to manifest. And that, going back to what you said, it's that, not disassociation. What did you say? You've got that idea, you've got that will for it, and then you take out that need for it, that desire for it. Then you just let it be and just see what happens. I still
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you have to. I still think you have to. You have to make an effort. I said you can't just get a car. Okay, occasionally you get a car or a house given to you. You know, somebody dies or something like that, but it's not necessarily in your time frame.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. I
mm,
think, I guess it for everybody is different. Like people have said
mm,
that they've manifested effortlessly. I guess for me, this
mm,
was effortlessly. I did the mirror technique. You know, you want this, and you write it down, and you put
mm,
it on your mirror, and you look at it every day, right?
mm,
And I had written. I was very very detailed. So I put specifically chose yellow paper and then wrote with black marker in a specific way and blah blah blah. And I wrote that I want financial independence, right? And
mm,
I didn't write which year or how long it's gone,
mm,
right? And I put it up there. And uh, when I was here and I was struggling with money and stuff initially when I was separated from my husband,
mm,
my dad would say, "How are you going to take care of things and stuff?" And I would like let God worry about it. It's going to happen for me. And he would always be, "I think you're delusional,
mhm,
or you're being silly." And I said, "Listen,
mm,
I know God has my back.
mm,
They're going to fall in place. I don't know how, but somehow I have faith
mm,
that it will happen." And the same thing like you were saying, like he says, "Yeah, you got to have faith, but you've got to move. You got to have
mm,
movement, and you got to work towards it." And I was like, "Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet. So when I do, I'll let
mhm,
you know." So he
mhm,
thought that I didn't have a plan. I wasn't doing anything. How is just going to fall in my lap or
mhm,
whatever, right? And my husband passed away suddenly. Like he
mm,
wasn't sick or anything. He just 2023 comes and he passes away, right? And my only thing was the financial independence was that my kids are secure.
yeah.
He passes away, everything goes to my kids. I was just sitting doing nothing. I had to do
Mhm,
nothing. It was just like the visualization that my kids will be taken care of. Somehow they will be taken care of.
mm,
I will not worry, because if I started worrying, Hamish, uh, it would just lock me from doing anything.
mhm,
I can't work like that. If I'm too worried, or if you keep
mhm,
on talking about the nose, I can't do the movement. I have to
yeah.
have hope, and then I
Mhm,
keep on moving. So it just fell in my lap, and I was like, okay, this is not how I wanted to manifest my kids losing their dad,
mhm,
but it just happened, and I got what I wanted, you know.
yeah.
So like you're saying, that
Mhm,
happens not all the time. It's gonna happen, but it was
mhm,
like a one kind of a thing where
yeah.
I set a goal, I put it up there, and I just believed things would fall in place for me without me
Mhm,
going doing 10 jobs and still not getting that money, or
yeah.
being
Mm,
able to pay for my kids' school and stuff like that.
mm,
So that is what I was trying to bring up. So because
mm,
people get really lost in manifestation, and like you're saying, people just kind of like sit every day and get really deep in the visualization and feeling the feel it like you already have it, it's already
mm,
there,
mm,
and then not working towards it, right?
mm.
uh yeah, it didn't work for me like that. It didn't. Nothing I did with the
Yeah,
feeling. And
yeah.
so there's certain things that I have manifested, like this bit that I shared
Mm,
effortlessly, and there's some things, lots of things that I've not manifested
yeah.
while
Mm,
just feeling the feeling, writing it
mm,
down,
mm,
um, and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I think that for me, in my experience, my manifestation at this point is I set a goal, right?
Mhm,
Like let's say I want a home, right?
mhm,
I do want a home. So I've set the goal, God, I want a home, right?
mhm,
I don't have a dime with me, right? But I'm going to do one thing with that intention. Okay, whether I'm going to save money, or whether I'm going to uh do an extra job or something, right?
mhm,
And that's it. And then just trust that it will come. And then kind of like trusting the divine more,
mm. Yeah.
and just like kind of like just leaving it there, then getting too attached that it's not happening and getting
Mm,
frustrated and not trusting the process. I think somebody also wrote here, it's trust.
yeah. Juliana. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mm.
So would you agree?
I absolutely. There has to be that. There has to be that trust that you're on the right path, that you're doing you're doing what's right for you and things like that. And then from there, you're setting it in motion, and you are. It is. this universe is very strange.
It
You know,
is.
it it's not just Netflix and chill. It's not just stacking one brick on top of another. There's manifesting works. You
Mm.
have to you've proven it. It does work, but you need to give it energy. You need to give it time, and as you said, let go of it. Let go of it and wait and see.
Mm.
Um, but I do think if you're just going to wait and see too much, 9 times out of 10, you're waiting a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm,
I
yeah.
Why do people get so stuck on I think that's easier, right? That I don't need to do anything. I'll just think about it and I'll get it.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can't do that yet. It's I don't think humankind is actually ready yet to go, right, I'm going to manifest a phone. Boing, there's a phone. I don't think we can actually yet change energy into different kinds of energy and things like that yet.
Wow.
Maybe
Yet. I like the way you said
useful.
yet.
Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe these
Right.
people think they can do it already. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So true.
But I mean, jokes aside, I think there is some people are really good at manifesting. Are really they're highly. It is around creating. It is about around being creative. Um,
Mm,
I seem to manifest things that I need or are of importance in my life,
mm,
and that's quite exciting. When I look at some of them, call them coincidences, call them prayers, call them whatever you want. There's this. I need this, I need that. There's things happening in my life which I haven't had to put a great deal of effort in to create or
mm,
to happen. Um, and that's when I think, not I think, when it does happen more effortlessly, that's when I know I'm on the right path.
mm,
So when things, when I'm creating an alignment for my vision, for my purpose, for what's important to me from a this is the bit I've got it important to me from a not necessarily a service perspective, but from being who I am, an authentic perspective, then
mm,
it seems to be easier. You know,
mm,
the only way I'm going to manifest a Ferrari in my drive is if I buy the thing. But if I manifest something that is going to be of value to me, something that's important to me, something that will help me be
mm.
Hamish,
Yeah,
that will come quicker. I firmly believe that because it is more aligned to my purpose and what is important for me.
yeah. Interesting. The
Hmm.
Ferrari thing, very interesting.
Yeah.
Hamish, I think that the key magic ingredients is with manifestation
Hmm.
is I don't know if I'm right, but I truly believe this is that when you're manifesting something, right? It's a goal. It's something you don't have that you're going towards, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
I think it's when you're doing that, the first thing you need to do is be grateful for where you are. But that's where your gratitude comes in. So I think it just came up that I
Hmm.
realized that when I wanted to have that money, that security in XYZ for my kids, in all that time, I didn't once complain of where I was where I was lacking. I was
Hmm.
only focused on what I already have and I'm so grateful for. And this is the amount of money I'm getting and this much I can do out of it. It wasn't,
Hmm.
oh, what is missing that I'm not able to do. I'm
Hmm.
grateful this is what's coming and I can do so much from this, right?
Hmm.
And it was like very focused, like I'm only focusing on what I have and I'm grateful for what I have. And then it kind of like got me to getting, oh wow, that did actually get me to getting what I wanted. So I think it's about being first grateful for what you already have, because that makes you feel abundant, that makes you feel full, that makes you feel, I guess, I do believe in your frequencies and your energies and your vibrations. So if you're already high, you kind of like, I kind of like hit the jackpot, I think. Would you agree? Would you agree that being grateful is part of manifestation, though?
Totally. I mean that's why when we discussed what the conversation was about, I said gratitude and manifestation,
Yeah.
because if you're going to be on if you're not going to be grateful about where you are, why are you going to get what? Why is God going to listen? Why is the universe going to listen? Why are you actually going to get there? But
Yeah.
if you're able to say, well, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm, I'm doing. I'm not doing okay. I'm live. I can do this. I can do that. I am. This is me. You know, I've got enough to live on, to survive on, but not from that scarcity, not from that victim. Then you're going to be in a better place to manifest, because you've got that energy, you've got that intensity, that life force in you to
Mm.
create from, to create with. Yeah. I
Mm.
think they go hand in hand so much. If you're not capable of being grateful, then why should the universe go, well, here you are, here's your Ferrari, Hamish, and they drive for you. You
Mm.
know. Mm.
Hamish is getting a Ferrari, I'm telling you guys.
I tell you what, yeah. I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture on Monday morning. It might be this big, but I'll have a picture. I'll have a
As
picture of
long as
Ferrari.
it's a Ferrari, we never defined it, did we?
We didn't. No, I said I'd buy it. You're right. Yeah. Mm,
Hamish, I'm
mm,
really curious now, because I did this. So now I want to know what how you feel about it. So a few
mm,
years ago, right, I wanted to manifest the perfect person, right?
mm,
So I was whoever or whatever I was following, and then
mm,
they said, write, sit down and write in detail about this person,
mm,
your perfect
mm,
person, the way. So write how they look, how tall they are, what they earn, blah. So get like really detailed, right? So do you think, or do you believe, or do you think there is a way that when somebody sits and goes, like if I'm manifesting a husband, right, or a boyfriend or whatever, I'm
mm.
writing it, right? I write the detail of the perfect guy or blah blah whatever that is, right? Write the whole description, and then I just put it away, or I have to read it every day or whatever. Do you think that I can manifest that?
Not like
No.
that. No,
Yeah.
not like that. No,
Okay.
because are you capable of loving that person? Not,
Obviously, it's
not.
gonna be the perfect person. Why won't I be able to
Well,
love him?
will he be able? Okay, then. So will he be able to love you? Will you, your capacity, your neuroses, your fears, your expectations, will you be able to love him, and will he be able to love you? Because if I define the most perfect person for me, she's going to have these characteristics,
Hmm.
and then she turns up just like, not a chance, Hamish. We're not compatible, because we're not. If I'm going to manifest someone, I need to look at what is important to me, what I can offer. Because maybe this beautiful person that you are manifesting, you're designing, tall, dark, chisel beard, strong, muscly, this, that, and the other. He goes to the gym. He lives in Germany. He's got 3 children. Did you put that in part of the conversation? So it's. I think you've got to be really careful what you're manifesting, and it definitely is, when it's a person, you have got to fit them. You really have got to fit them. So if you are highly neurotic, if you are not willing to love, then why should somebody love you? Not you, the
Yeah,
person
yeah,
who's
yeah.
doing this
Makes sense. So,
manifesting.
Hamish, just a hypothetical
Mm,
question.
mm,
If I'm manifesting, or somebody here is trying to manifest a partner, right?
mm.
How would you direct them to manifest? You would not tell them to write the description. No, throw that part away. Then how would they manifest?
Start by loving yourself. Start by seeing what in yourself you don't like, and then why
Really?
don't you like it? Yeah.
Oh,
You've
really?
got you've got to start. You've got to start on yourself. Otherwise, if you do not love yourself, why should you be able to love somebody else? Yeah. Okay, we're
Hmm.
going slightly off topic here, but
Yeah.
it tremendously begins on you, on yourself, um, on who you are.
Mm.
Really tremendously. It's if I'm manifesting, if I'm after a girlfriend to complete me, that's a recipe for disaster.
Obviously, yeah,
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 but
yeah,
that's not uncommon. You know, I want a man who's strong and can protect me, who could do this, who can do that. Yes, part of his role is the protector because that is the masculine energy. But you've got to bring your energy into that as well. He can protect if you are wanting to be protected. But if you're not able to meet this person that you're manifesting, um, you know, you're not going to be compatible. I heard this terrible story. This woman manifested this man. You know, she had this vision for him, and I want to love him. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. She met him. He
ooh,
didn't love her. He didn't love her. He didn't. She
ooh,
didn't part of the description that wasn't. You know, he didn't love me back. You know, so you've got to be if when you do this, you've got to be not dot every T and cross every I, not ridiculously picky, but it is a process of really thinking about it. Not I just want a husband. I want a wife. I want a girlfriend. I want a boyfriend.
yeah,
It's who they are, how they are, what they feel, what you feel for them, what they feel for you. So it's that, and part of what they feel for you. You know, will as I said, will they love you for those unhealthy habits? You know, the fact that you snore, the fact that you pig out in the fridge at 3 in the morning, the fact that you actually get really upset by things which are highly irrational, or the fact that he wants to go to the gym 5 days a week, you know, and is very intolerant if he can't get that workout because that's his downtime, and you
mm,
actually want to be with him 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
oh
So
my
it's
God.
well, some people are strange,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So I think it's definitely you definitely have to love yourself to manifest to you know to connect with somebody on a really healthy level.
Yeah, you know
Very
what,
much so.
Hamish, what was coming up for me? I do
Mm,
also remember. So I've done all parts of this manifestation, writing about full detail about the person you want to manifest.
mm,
And then I did another exercise, I remember way back, probably 24, I don't know,
mm,
23, maybe 22. I don't remember,
mm,
but there was this exercise where you're gonna write uh your perfect person, right?
mm,
Same thing, same exercise. You write all their qualities, the way they look, the way they dress, and their personality and whatever, right? And then you kind of like, I think it was like draw a line, and then you're on the other side, and then you write how many of those qualities you already have. Like, so I don't remember, I can't think of anything to give you an example, I'm just completely blank.
mm,
But if you I don't know, I can't give you an example, I'm sorry. So that
mm,
then I did that. Okay, this is
mm,
what I'm manifesting. Okay, like, I'm loyal, I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm affectionate,
mm,
I'm passionate, blah blah blah. So if I was writing that in his side,
mm.
was I already embodying it or not, right?
Yeah.
So once I wrote the things that I was already embodying and the things that
Mm,
were still not in me from my
mm-hmm.
partner's list, they said, go embody that.
Yep.
Go embody that in yourself,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And then see what happens, or something like that. Do you think that makes sense? Or does
Yeah, because that's a far more eloquent way of what I was saying. It is you
yeah,
have to love yourself if you want. Yes, if you want him to be loving and kind, you've got to
be
be
loving
loving and
it?
kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
If you want, okay, if you want someone 6 foot tall, that doesn't mean you've got to be 6 foot tall. But you know, I'm 5'4". I want someone 6 foot. That means I've got to be. It's not going to happen, is it? But but those traits that are non-physical,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll do. Yeah,
I guess, yeah, I
you've
guess
got to
it's
be able to. Mm,
for me with that. It's so funny. So if I wanted a 6'1" or a 6'2", I'm a 5'2". So then that
mm,
would be more about accepting my height to where it is and feeling comfortable in my height, not feeling that I'm too short. I
yeah,
guess that's the only like relatable
mhm,
thing I could come with if I'm wanting somebody taller.
yeah, yeah.
So I guess
Mm,
it's just the more you accept yourself, the more you love yourself, is when you can manifest. But Hamish, there's another thing, and I know this is gonna go off topic, but then I have to say this. When you're
mm,
manifesting and you're
mm,
wanting this, and let's say you're embodying all the things that you want in your partner, and this person comes in your life,
mm,
that's where it gets tricky, because now that person, I truly believe,
Mm-hmm.
Any person you're in an intimate relationship with, at any point, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how much healing you've done, and me being a therapist, I can say that for sure, they're going to hold
Mm-hmm.
up a mirror and they're going to show you parts of you that need your attention. That's where
Mm-hmm.
it gets tricky. So
Yep.
basically, your wounds, your inner child, everything is gonna, your
Mm-hmm.
triggers, they're all
Yep.
gonna show up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we lose because now Hamish is making me uncomfortable because he's triggered me and I didn't want. So it's Hamish is a bad person. I don't want to date Hamish anymore. Bye,
Yep.
Hamish. And I obviously won't do like that. That's not how it pays out in relationships. You act out. You bring something out of nowhere, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
fight that blows out of proportion. And now they're like, okay, let's just take a break from each other. And either it's a break forever, or things never go back because the rupture was never addressed properly and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So manifested shocks. Because that's just one part. You get the person, but then that's
Mm-hmm.
where the real job starts. Is it's gonna show you a
Yep.
mirror,
Yeah.
and are
That's
you?
and that's the
Yeah,
tough part. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's easy to buy a house. You've just got to put the money down. You know, then you've got to live in it, pay the bills, keep it clean, do
clean.
this, update
Yeah,
it. You know, same in a relationship. So you've manifested this person. There's this lovely list of things,
yeah.
lovely list of your things, and
Yeah.
you didn't write. He doesn't trigger me. I don't trigger her. And
I will do that now. No more triggers. That
yeah,
has to be
now
my manifestation. No more triggers.
no more triggers. Let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I, I like that one. Yeah. Mm. There's God going. No more triggers.
No trigger. He would never ever trigger me again.
That's right. Yeah. No. No.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
hilarious.
darling. You're alive. If you want no more triggers, you got to come and join me here. Otherwise, if you're alive, you get triggered. Yeah. Uh,
Oh my god, that's so funny.
well, that.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean that's when when the triggers come. That's when you've got to work out what
Yeah.
am I going to be offended, or do I want this relationship to work? I know we're completely off topic, but such an important thing to do is looking at that. And can you manifest someone who won't trigger you? No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so. I
so.
even want to manifest that because
No.
if you manifest somebody, like really, I thought for it in a minute. Like
Mm,
if I manifested somebody who didn't trigger me, there is no growth in that relationship. It's
yeah.
very dull
Yep.
and boring, and there's nothing there. It's just going to be empty. So I think
Mm,
the thing that we get personal is because when you trigger me, Hamish, and if I become defensive, right, which
mm,
is okay, there is no shame in that,
no.
but
Mm,
it is to understand that I'm just trying to protect a part of me, right?
yes.
When I'm becoming defensive, for
Yep.
example, if I am.
Mm,
And it's
yeah.
just about holding space for myself and realizing, and then coming back to you and saying, hey, listen, I
Mm,
know you didn't mean that. I became defensive because I was triggered, and this
mm,
is what was happening for me in that
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Can we sit now and talk? I
Mm,
think that's where real beautiful manifestations happen actually.
yeah.
So I think it's just,
Mm,
I know this is going so off topic, but I just think that a lot of good relationships, not just intimate but any friendships,
mm,
with your siblings, with your parents, with your kids,
mm,
is just about having awareness around, in this moment my son is triggering me,
mm,
right?
yeah.
Or my daughter is triggering me, or my dad is triggering me,
Mm,
and what can I do that doesn't affect the quality of the relationship in the moment? Do I need to
mm,
detach? Do I need to say something? Or
mm,
that kind of thing.
yeah.
You know, so off
Sounds easy.
manifestation.
Sounds easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, if you've done the work well, if you've manifested somebody who is compatible with you, you'll be able to face those together.
Yeah.
You'll be able to say, "Hang on, let's do that." You know, I was chatting with my partner, and she said, "We need a safe word." And have a safe word. So when the triggers start happening, you just say, "Hang on, abracadabra," or something. And that means stop,
Okay.
take some breaths. What do you need? What do I
Mm.
need? That kind of thing, just to say, hang on, we've been something's happened, and to step out of that pattern.
Yeah.
Um, I wish I knew that 25 years ago.
Yeah,
God, that make
me
my
too.
life easier. No, rather than yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
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 yeah. I hate you, bugger off, blah, blah, yeah. But that's just life experience, isn't it? And then
yeah,
someone telling you, someone learning. Um, so yeah, to bring that back to manifesting, if you find someone you want to be with, you will start to work on that, and that's part of that. You're manifesting a beautiful relationship.
yeah,
Yes, the triggers are going to come up. Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Mm,
Yeah, that makes sense. Hamish, any other tips? People are not asking any questions, but is there
mm.
anything else you would want to educate people around manifestation, or do you think we've touched upon everything so far?
I think I touched on it very briefly. I mean, I sort of do this with clients, and is write down your decades of your life, and then just look at what you have created, what you really desired and appeared in your life. The girlfriend, the boyfriend, the wife, beautiful children, all these things that you have brought into your world that you have manifested. You'll begin to see that you can manifest all sorts of things, and then with that you can bring that gratitude and realize that about looking back at your life, which is incredibly important.
I
We
think
we
I
rush.
think about even looking back, eh, more about, I don't know why I think that it's also really like, because you chose the topic and it just
Mhm,
kind of connects. It's about like, Hamish, I'm sitting in this apartment, right? And I'm living in this one bedroom
mhm,
apartment, right?
mhm,
Uh, and I'm not for a day grateful that I already have a roof on my top, even though it's just one bedroom, for
mhm,
example, right? How can I manifest and have, how can the universe or God or whatever divine, whatever you believe in, however you're manifesting,
mhm,
trust you? Again, it comes to trust with something bigger than what you already have.
mhm,
So I personally, what's coming up for me again and again is that I have to truly be grateful for what I have in the now.
mhm.
Like, I'm grateful for this roof,
Yeah.
right? And how it serves me. It keeps me
Mhm,
safe, it keeps me warm, it
mhm.
keeps me protected, right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm not grateful, I think I won't be able to manifest or upgrade myself in life.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being grateful and having attitude of gratitude is really important and essential tool of manifestation.
I think it's incredibly important just to life. If you're
Yeah.
not able to be grateful for stuff, you're going to have a negative outlook on life. You're going to have that negative bias.
Yeah.
Whereas that gratitude isn't fluff. It's,
Yeah.
yes, it's hard, but I've got a house. Yes, it's hard. I've got a roof. Yes, it's hard. I have got food for today. It's pragmatic, but it's also honoring that that you have stuff in life that some people don't. It's not about comparison, but it's so important to be
Yeah.
grateful. Um, and it does rewire your brain. It absolutely does rewire
Yeah.
your brain, your neurology, your physiology,
Yeah.
um, and it changes your vibration and all that kind as well. So it's paramount to manifesting. It's paramount to leveling up your life, manifesting, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
Mm.
really, really important.
And like you were saying earlier, before obviously I cut you, was that when you look back in life, right? When we review our
Mm,
life and what we did and how we manifested what we manifested,
mm, yeah.
children, house, job,
Mm,
whatever.
mm,
Uh, I think it's also in that also having a sense of gratitude towards yourself and not looking at your life, and when you're reflecting, you're focusing on what you still not achieved or your failures, or having that kind of outlook, right?
mm,
I think it's about me. When I look at my life, I was talking to somebody and they were saying, and I said, no, I don't regret anything in my life. Alhamdulillah, I don't.
mm,
Because where I am today, I'm grateful for the woman I've become.
yeah.
And if I go back, if I change anything
Mm,
in my past, I won't be who I am today.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm grateful
Mm,
for everything that happened. When I'm grounded, when
mm,
I'm in my true high vibrational true self,
mm,
I'm truly grateful for everything that happened to me,
mm.
right? Because it led me to where I am today. And that is what matters in the
Yeah.
now. And I'm
Mm,
grateful, right? Obviously, when I'm triggered or when I'm living in lack or when I'm living in fear or when I'm operating from any of
mm,
those, then, and then it's human. I wouldn't say it never happens or it
mm,
shouldn't happen, that you can feel derailed or like, why did this happen to me?
mm,
Or, things like that. So I think it's just kind of like letting both of them kind of like coexist hand in hand.
mm. Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you touched on something really important there. You know, that's so the looking at the amazing things is one thing I do with people. Another thing, look
Mm-hmm.
what went wrong. You know, you had a divorce, your husband died.
Mm-hmm.
My dad died last year. You know, I've lost jobs, I've had to move countries. I've all sorts of things have happened, terrible things. People have lost families, you know, there's loss, jobs, people, whatever. I'm still alive. You've gotten through every
Mm-hmm.
single adversity that you have met. You've got back up again, brushed it off, taken a cast off, whatever, you know, plaster cast off. You've healed, you've recovered. There's so much gratitude in being able to get through stuff that happened. So it's that's also really important to look at. You know, my dad died, really sad, obviously. Um, I had to leave South Africa. I had a job, clients, everything. I had to for all sorts of reasons. Um, yeah, I'm still alive. I got through all of that. I got through all that hardship, the grief, the embarrassment, the shame, the guilt. I'm very grateful for being here now, and that, as you said, that's part of my journey. But I'm grateful for what I can learn from that and what I how I made sense of it, and the fact I got through it. It didn't kill me. I didn't die from
Yeah.
it or whatever. So that's really important as well, to look at the what didn't work quite so well and be grateful
Yeah.
for that I survived it, that I thrived
Yeah.
it, as you said.
This is so beautiful because in recent times when I was looking back at my life, and obviously my parents moving, then me getting married, not having a happy marriage, losing a daughter, my daughter passed away, then
Mm,
leaving my husband, live had built a life in USA, and that not
mm,
working out, was really hard to leave USA. I never wanted to come back to my country. I hated coming back. It was torturous coming back. I never
mm,
wanted to stay here. I wanted to go back because I could adjust here. uh,
mm,
and then I could never file for divorce. I was never divorced. I was separated when he passed away. That
mm,
frustration before he passed away, that I can't even get a divorce, right?
mm,
Because of whatever reasons, right? And one of the things I started to remind myself, two things, like you said, uh, is that I reflect when I'm feeling like I'm going towards hopelessness or helplessness or depression or drowning or whatever. I kind of
mm.
like start looking back at my life, reminding myself that I've been through so much and I
Mm.
survived.
Yep.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel what I'm feeling, but
Mm,
I'll be okay. I need to trust myself, number
mm,
one. And number two, what I've started doing as well is, Hamish, I started reminding myself that in all of what I was going through, who was there, Mavish, with you truly?
mhm,
I had my own back.
mm.
And not that I'm
Yeah.
like calling out anybody who's not there.
No.
It's
Mm,
truly about understanding that there is a limit to everybody's capacity and how much they can pour into you, right?
yeah.
and
Mm,
and and then there's always been expectations about, this person didn't do this at this time, this person didn't do this at that time. And lately I've stopped doing that. I've stopped
mm,
focusing on people, and for the past few months I've just focused on who was truly there for you, Mavish. And it's
mm.
been, I was there. So
Yeah.
if I got through all that and made it here, I can get through this for myself. And obviously, I believe in God, so God was holding me through all of that. I don't know
Mhm,
how I would
yeah.
have done it
Mm,
without God. So
mm,
I think what I'm trying to get is, we quickly put ourselves down and
mm,
are very self critical. I think a lot of us are, not just
mm,
me. We are very self critical, and we I don't know, it's our wounding, it's our upbringing, it's environment or what, we lack to see our worth, you know.
Hmm.
Because when I sit and tell Hamish, oh Hamish, this happened to me and this happened to me, blah blah blah, right? And then my friend Hamish looks up to me and he looks at me as this incredible inspiring person. You've been through so much, you know, and you get and you got through life and you're here. How can this person see how amazing I am? Yet I can't see that. I can only
Yep.
see my pain and what I've
Mm.
lost, right?
Yep.
So I've really kind of like taken a step back and started like observing myself and like,
Mm.
how come in so many incidents when people reminded me of how awesome I am, it was so hard for me to believe what's awesome? I've always said, yeah, I had to do that. I had no choice. Like when I
Mm.
lost my daughter, how gracefully I went through that of and the
Mm.
grief, and I'm being here and how eloquently I talk about it and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, yeah. So I never held space for how well I did for me. That kind of
Yep.
self love and that self
Mm.
compassion and that acceptance that I did really, really good. You know,
Mm.
it's like getting a 19 a test and you beating yourself up of not getting 100, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
in my life, when I look through my life, I have to be grateful for what I did.
Mm.
Not
Yep.
like, oh, I could have done better, or why didn't I do that, or why didn't I take that
Yep.
job and stuff like that.
Mm.
And that's what I'm learning for myself lately
Mm.
is
Mm.
self-compassion, self-love. Do I really know my worth? Do
Mm.
I? Because if I did, I would really acknowledge every version of what I went through, not in the way that Hamish would tell me, you know, but in
Mm.
the way when I reflect my journey,
Mm.
do I look up myself when I was messing up, when I was making mistakes?
Mm.
Will I hold compassion or will I be judging myself? Like you, Hamish, you went through so much, right?
Mm.
The you know, I remember your story. You said when you were drinking and you got drunk and you were driving or you would throw the bottle out of the
Mm.
car or whatever, right? In those moments, are you are you going to still love that part of you? Is my question. Or can you love that part of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
were doing your
It's been a,
best.
it's
Yeah.
been exactly. It's been very hard to do that,
Yeah, exactly.
but and it has required just understanding that that was the lesser of. There was more shame attached to going home drunk with bottles than getting rid of them, and
Yeah.
it was just simple. It was simple choice. I
Yeah.
was looking after me. I was keeping myself safe. Doesn't mean the behaviour's okay. It wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it was that, and so I've had to look at that, Hamish, and go, yeah, I saw you. You were an idiot, but you were doing the best you could.
Maybe you
Um,
weren't an idiot. Maybe the behavior didn't define your behavior doesn't define the whole of you, right?
no,
That was just
no.
part of
Mm,
what you were doing in that moment. And
mm,
it was just about accepting that, like you said, we're not accepting the bad behavior or justifying
mm,
it, but
yeah,
we're not judging that part of you.
yeah,
You were
yeah.
doing your best. You were doing your best with.
Mm,
When I look back and I say, "Oh, I was so stupid," like no, I wasn't
mm,
stupid. I stopped
mm,
saying that to myself.
yeah.
I truly was doing the best with what I knew at that time, and that if
Mm,
I go back, I would still do the same because at that time, that's all I knew.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
right now, you and I are having this conversation. After a year, we might pick the same conversation, right? And we
Mm,
might have a totally different perspective around it, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would be okay. But in this
Mm,
moment, this
yeah.
is what is serving us. And
Mm,
it's not less or lack, it's
no.
beautiful
Yeah.
and it's whole.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you agree?
Absolutely agree. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that, and with that gentleness, that self-awareness, you are able to, yeah, forgive yourself, begin to love yourself, and then that goes full circle back to where we started, where,
Right.
when you do love yourself more, there's that gratitude. Yeah, as I said, that behavior wasn't okay. I still love that person. I still love that Hamish back then. I'm still grateful that I got through that. I'm so grateful that I didn't run somebody over, that
Give
I
up
didn't
on
crash.
yourself. Yeah.
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 Um,
Yeah.
and the capacity for loving myself has improved, and full circle right around to, I'm starting to manifest. I'm manifesting not from a lack, not from a shame, but from, yeah, I like this person. He's all right. He's very flipping all right. And I have that capacity for loving myself and for my partner, the
Yeah.
partner I'm manifesting, the partner I've got, whatever that piece is, because there's that acceptance that Hamish yesterday was doing his best. Hamish 4 days ago was. And it's
Yeah.
really powerful, really, really powerful to do that. But it does take a lot of looking at your life very gently.
Yeah, Hamish. You
Mm,
know what's coming? Two things are coming up for me. A
mm,
few days ago, I was talking to somebody, and somebody was talking to me about addiction, and they were saying, "You don't know anything about addiction. You've not been through addiction." And you came up to me, right?
mm,
And I said, "Listen, I have a very, very dear friend, and I've known him for 6 years, and obviously, I've not been there, but I've heard his story, and he's shared so many times with me,
mm,
and on screen and off screen, we've had so many lengthy dialogues, right, about
mm,
addiction." So maybe you can talk to them, but for me, what I've learned from them is that it's not impossible to overcome addiction. You can.
mm. Yeah.
And he's been an inspiration, and that's why I wanted him to meet so many people who
Mm,
were going through different addictions, where here's your role model, here's a person
mm,
who was there, been there, done that, but chose to come out of it. So,
yeah.
sometimes people kind of like find hope in that, right? So
Mm,
I was like, if you want, I can connect you to them. And then I send our old podcast to them as well, in which you shared your
mm,
story. And I
mm,
said, look at this first, and when you're done looking, then I'll send you a recent one of his, and then you can do the math yourself.
mm,
So that's that. And then Hamish, you know because I did that. I mean, I was just thinking in this moment that if we were to go back to when you were drunk, or when you were drunk and driving, and when you were throwing bottles or gathering bottles, whatever, and Hamish
mm,
went to that Hamish, this Hamish went to that Hamish who was drunk in the car and sat right next to him and held his hand and said, "Hey, look at me. You're going to be okay." Because at that time, you didn't know you're going to be here, right?
no.
Yeah. So
Mm,
that if we went back to that Hamish, because that Hamish felt different than this Hamish, and he went back to him and said, "Hey, listen, look at me. We're gonna be fine. This is me from the future coming back to you, telling you
mm,
that life's gonna be rocking in." You're gonna do amazing things. You're gonna be helping people. You're gonna be doing podcasts, and men are gonna be coming to you for help and stuff. And you're gonna be doing these programs and these live streams and being on stage or whatever, whatever you want to say to your Hamish. And you said that, I don't know, it just feels, when I'm saying it, it feels so powerful for me saying it, because it kind of like dissolves that shame and that whatever. I don't know why
mm,
shame is coming up for me, but whatever you were going through, guilt or whatever, it kind of dissolves that, and kind of like just makes me feel grateful.
mm,
If I could go to that version of you, and sit in the car and you were drinking, I would hold your hand and say, Hamish, you're going to be my friend. You're going to be awesome. You're going to help me get through so many things. And I can't wait to see you, right? You know? So it's again, the act of being grateful for having you.
mm.
And I'm saying that in the moment when you're at your worst. So I think it's that gift that you also try to. It's beautiful if people can give that to you, but it's beautiful if you can give that to yourself first.
It's very, I mean, as you've been talking to me, I've just been feeling through that, and I think there were four emotions I didn't go through. Um, yeah, if Hamish, then if I sat next to him, held his hand, and say it's going to be all right, he's just going to say no, it's not. He's going
Yeah.
to say I can't see a way out, because I just didn't have that capacity.
Mm,
However, the way you phrased it, it's just like there's someone else believing me, not in me. It's just like, okay, now that's interesting. So
mhm,
that's a pure reflection on me, and my heart just opened up when you said me, you joining me back there and saying, "Hamish, it's going to be all right." It's just like, wow. So that's really strange. I need to think about this and feel into it a bit more, because he wouldn't listen. No, that's not fair. It's really this whole backwards and forwards in time things. I find fascinating. Um, But I'm very grateful, very, very grateful that I didn't write myself off back then.
Mm. It's
So
all because
yeah,
of you. Yeah. There was no
yeah,
marriage then, so it's you all
no,
there.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
know you then. You obviously came back and sat next to me in the car and hold on to the little handle. Said, "Please drive more slowly and
Yeah. Yeah.
don't." Yeah,
I'm waiting
you're
for
going to
you in
be.
the future. You better be
I'm
there,
waiting for
man.
you in the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. That's really powerful, you know. I think
mm,
it's just it when you're saying those things, that when I'm going and you're saying no, there's no way out,
mm,
I feel that that version of Hamish is still stuck because he's not able
mm,
to see beyond
yeah.
that
Mm,
version of him. So
mm,
obviously that's where you were saying that I need to work on it. And then you're saying when I came there, there was a different feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
And maybe explore why that was different than when you were with you. Because for me, I'm looking at myself and in that marriage when I was in USA and I couldn't breathe and I would have panic attacks and I couldn't stop crying, that
mm,
I can't get out of this. There's no way
mm,
out of it. How will I do the finances? Where will I go? I
mm,
can't go back and blah, blah, blah. I can see myself going back and telling her, girlfriend, you got this. You'll be fine. We'll
mm,
get out of here and look at me in the eyes. You're going to be fine.
mm,
And me believing me, you
mm,
know, that kind of thing. Like every time I go back to a version of me, and I've done this, I've done these exercises when I've gone to different versions of me. Sometimes I would just do that and feel nothing, Hamish, and then, something would just change in
mm,
my energy field. I don't know if I was showing up differently, but something changed because not internally, I couldn't tell what internally had changed, but externally, the
mm,
what I was receiving started to change. So I thought that something has happened internally that I'm
mm,
not addressed or understood what happened, maybe the wiring or something, right? But there
mm,
have been incidents where I've went back to versions of me where there
mm,
was hopelessness, helplessness, shame, that leaving this marriage, I'm a bad woman, I'm a bad
yeah.
daughter, a
Mm,
bad
mm,
wife,
yeah.
whatever, outcast
Mm,
and stuff. And I've gone back to it and said, you don't need to be shameful. God
mm,
is giving you permission. You're going to be fine. You got this. You will make it.
mm,
And I've seen that in that moments I'm cleaning my eyes. I'm still in my husband's home and I'm wiping off my tears and, I'm holding my version of this hand and walking
mm.
off and there's light and stuff. So, that kind of thing. But obviously, we've gone way off track coming back to manifestation. But yeah, I guess I think these are branches of manifestation. And it just kind of like goes towards kind of like allowing and accepting ourselves for who we are, loving ourselves, and believing in ourselves, knowing that we're
Mhm,
worthy of what we're manifesting, right? I guess that's where the energy comes from, that I believe that I'm worthy of this, and then we're going towards it as well. Like you said, you have to take the action, not just sit there.
yeah.
Because I think the action part is people who lack taking the action, I think are people who don't believe in themselves or don't think they're
Mm,
worthy of it. That's where they say stuck on that place. Like, I'm
mm,
just going to sit here and it's going to come to me. So I think when somebody truly believes, like if you truly believe you want to have this yummy ice cream, right? You would go for it, right? So it's like that kind of thing.
yeah.
More simplified is that
Mm,
manifestation is believing that what you want, you're worthy of it,
yeah. I
and
like
then
that.
going towards it,
Mm,
knowing
yeah.
that you will get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you've nailed it very, very succinctly. It's that believing you are worthy. It's acknowledging it, putting it out there to God, the universe, however,
Yeah,
and then as opportunities come in that direction, moving towards it. Yeah,
yeah,
very much.
yeah.
Mm,
All right.
mm,
Hamish, thank you so much for tonight. Like always, it was fun
thank
talking
you.
to you.
Mm.
Anything you would like to say to the audience before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think if you haven't got a gratitude practice, get one. Three things you're grateful for, three people you're grateful
Mm,
for, and three reasons to be grateful. And if you can do that every night, every morning, different ones, look for different ones, your outlook will change. Your perspective on life will change. You will see more beauty. You will see more joy. You will experience more diversity.
Mm.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hamish. Thank you, everyone, for tonight. I will see you soon again, Hamish.
You will.
Take
Yeah.
care. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.